Hiya, I'm Simone Radley from England and Nails, and in this video I'm going to do nail art inspired by a vintage picture. So it's like all sort of browny colours that we're going to use, so great for this time of the year because they're really popular at the moment, like all the browny tones. And the whole retro thing, it's not just me, I promise. Joanna's like, not retro, but it's like having a bit of a revival, isn't it? Having a revival, which makes me just really happy. So, because I have seen a lot of like retro inspired, loads actually, nails coming through on Instagram and stuff. Have you seen those?
No.
No?
Probably, to be fair.
She just don't pay attention. So, for our base colour, I'm going to use a base of, no, I'm not using that one. Just painted it on there and I thought, no, don't want that. So I've changed my mind. It happens. I'm going to take that off and I'm going to use a base of 144. Which is called a Vavavu. I'm a numbers person, so I know it was 144. So I'm going to do a base colour of this. Just going to do a nice thin coat and pop it in the lamp to cure for 60 seconds. Now that's come out of the lamp, I'm just going to do another coat so that it's not patchy or anything at all. And then I'm going to pop that into cure again for 60 seconds. So now that's come out of the lamp, I'm just going to wipe off the inhibition with some green cleaner because I don't want that sticky layer on there. And I'm going to use my 15mm liner brush and I'm just going to roughly map out where I want my little design to go. And I think I'm going to use some gel paint. So I'm going to use, that's my old one that I've started mixing in. I like to mix stuff. I'm going to use some white, no white gel paint because I love it. With my 15mm liner brush, I'm just going to decant some onto my silicone pad and then I can just sort of map out my design. So I'm going to come in from one side, sort of just over halfway down, and I'm just painting 2 lines on the side. I'm going to bring the top line slightly further in, and then the bottom line wants to come in just slightly further still than the top line. And then your top line wants to curve a little and it's going to go all the way up to the top, if you can see that. And then the bottom line I want to take a little bit further out and curve that up as well. And that is going to also come up, but it's not going to go right up to the top. And then I'm going to bring this bottom point down into a point. So it comes sort of in between your first 2 lines on this side. You want it to come into the middle of there. And then curve and come out the other side. I'm just going to go over it lightly again. And then this top line, I want this point to come down here. And it's going to curve and go out. So we want the shape to go like this. And that's sort of roughly mapped out where we're going to go. If you have got any bits where you've gone over a little bit, you can take another brush, like your vice versa. Just use a little bit of green cleaner. I can squirt it into the top. You only want a little bit, so blot it off, and then you can just tidy up your line where it's come out. And then just pop that into cure for 60 seconds because we are going to cure it again afterwards. So now that's come out of the lamp, we are going to use some other colours to fill in our design. So I have got I191, which is tawny from the new autumn winter collection. I've got I49, which, and I'm bad with names and it's got no name on it. Hot chocolate? Oh, check me out. And then I46, which is what I was going to use for the base, which is Incognito. And I'm also going to use I156. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to use I54, which is still white, it's just not as highly pigmented as 156. 156 I would say is like brilliant white, and 54 I would say is white. So I've decanted all my colours, and I'm just going to start by sort of making rough lines really in the same direction as our design. So I'm making sure I'm going in between the lines that I've already painted. And it's just rough, it doesn't have to be really neat. And I'm just going to basically sort of swap between the colours and kind of layer them together. I'm being quite quick about it. And you will notice as you start to paint them, they're going to blend together, which is fine, that's what we want. These ones I'm being a bit more accurate here because I'm painting right next to that white line that we first painted. I don't want to sort of go out of that white line because obviously that's our guide for our design. If you do go over your line a little bit, don't worry too much because we can clean it up, but you don't want to go over your line if you can help it. I'm just adding in a little bit more white, and then I'm going to make sure the design's going in the direction that we want. Because although we want it to kind of marble together, we still want to be able to see that defined line. So I'm just going to drag through what's already there. I'm picking up a little bit more here because it's got none there. And now I'm going to drag through what's already there to make it go into that shape that we want. So check it before you put it into cure, make sure you're happy with it. See if there's any bits that you need to tidy up. And if there is, then you can tidy it up again with a brush and a little bit of green cleaner. And if not, then you can pop it in. I've just got a little gap in colour which is making a little like pit because there's no colour there. So just make sure that's filled in. And there's kind of a tiny little bit, I think it's a little fluff. Yeah, it was, I've just knocked it in. So I'm going to pop that in now to cure for 60 seconds. So now that's come out of the lamp, I'm going to top coat it with Rock Plus. And then put it into cure for, I can't talk, 60 seconds. So now that's come out of the lamp, of course, I'm going to add a little bit of matte. Because I like it. And I think it will look quite cool with a bit of matte. So I'm going to matte our design. So I'm using the brush out of the bottle first, but I'm soon going to swap because it's a little bit big. Oh, it's making me scared. Oh, it's making me scared. So I'm going to decant some onto my silicone pad because that was freaking me right out, I'm not going to lie. And then I'm going to use my vice versa brush to paint it where we want it. Yes, guess where the inspiration for this came from, Joanna? Well, 70s House Manchester on Instagram. I can't get enough of it, I tell you, honestly. So that, I'm just moving it in the light to make sure there's no dips, no sort of divots where I've missed any of that matte top coat. I'm just going to bring it up to the top just to make sure, up to the top. And then I'm going to pop it into cure for 60 seconds. Oh, I like it, Matt. That is done, but I feel like it's not done. So I'm going to add some black. That could be good, it could be bad, but the only way we'll know is to try it. So we're going to try it. So I'm using the black No Wipe gel paint, and I'm going to come straight down in the middle of the design. So I'll come straight down the middle of one side, then I'm going to come down the other side. And then I'm going to also go around the outline as well with a bit of black. I will show you the inspiration picture when I've done, and also Joanna will put it up as well. But it does actually have a little bit of black in it, and I thought maybe that's what it needs. For these little bits, for the corners, you might be better, you might want to switch brushes to the Artiste, just because you'll be able to get around these corners a bit better with it. You need a bit of a shorter, sort of firmer brush for that. Yes, I like it. That looks better. It really stands out now. So I'm going to pop that into cure. I'm going to cure it for 120 seconds. So now that's come out of the lamp and it is done. And I really like it. Full on retro feels with this. And I like the added black. I think it just needed it just to make it stand out more against the background colour. So I will show you my inspiration. So that is the pitch that I've used for inspiration. Obviously, as you've probably seen me say in other videos, it is just for inspiration. I don't want to totally copy it. So I've gone for obviously the same pattern and similar colours, but I wanted mine a bit more blended together. Yeah, I think it works really well. And obviously, to go down the bottom for the other side, you can do that on the nail next to it if you wanted to extend your design. But I like that just as like an accent nail really. And that is it. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Everything that I've used will be linked down below. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!